Hi there, I'm Sloan and I'm the general manager here at Fidipides. Today we're going to talk about lacing. Lacing is one of those things a lot of runners don't think about, but it's actually something that you can use to really dial in the fit on your running shoes. Today I'm going to show you 4 different types of lacing, but before that, just a quick note. Whenever you're lacing your shoes up, it's a good idea to tap your heel back. And what that does, that puts your heel all the way back into the rear of the shoe, into that heel collar, and allows you to tie the shoe in such a way that you're gonna get a snug fit in the heel and not be slipping around. That being said, if you've done the tap back and laced up your shoes and you're still experiencing some heel slippage, there's a few things that we can do to clear that up. So when you get a pair of shoes, they're typically gonna be laced into this second to last eyelet. And that's gonna be good enough for most people, but if you're experiencing a little bit of heel slip, you can incorporate this back loop to lock in the heel. And most simple thing, and the thing that we try first, is gonna be simply removing the lace from that eyelet and just putting it through the back eyelet. You're gonna do that on both sides. And then just lace the shoe as normally. If you try that and you're still experiencing some heel slippage, what we're then gonna do is try what's called the runner's loop. This is gonna be the best way to get just the most secure heel fit in any pair of shoes. So, for the runner's loop, we're gonna start with the shoe lace as it is out of the box into that second to last eyelet. And on each side of the shoe, we're gonna send that lace backwards through that rear eyelet and pull tight, creating a little loop right here. We're gonna do that on both sides. So we've got both of our loops here. And then simply cross the laces. Put the shoe on, tap your heel back, and lace as normal. What this does is allows you to pull from both of those eyelets, giving a little bit of a mechanical advantage so you can really get a good snug fit in. Again, this is gonna be the best way to lock that heel in for anybody with maybe a narrower foot or just experiencing a little heel slippage. Next up, we're gonna take a look at the opposite problem, someone that's maybe got a little bit of a wider foot and just wants a little bit more room throughout the shoe. Next, we're gonna take a look at lacing the shoe when maybe you've got a wider foot. Maybe there's a spot on the shoe that's just squeezing a little bit, but we'll start with kind of the most common, which is when the forefoot feels a little bit too tight for those of you with a little bit of a wider foot. A lot of people, the first thing they're gonna try is just really opening up these laces. That's a good starting point, but a lot of times that's not gonna be enough. So in these cases, what we're gonna do is actually take the entire lace out. And what we're gonna do is just simply skip this bottom eyelet. So shoe's gonna come laced all the way to the bottom. We're just gonna start at that next eyelet up. And then lace the shoe as normal. What you'll notice is because you're not tugging on the upper here at the forefoot, you're gonna feel a lot of extra space there. Runners with a bunion particularly are really gonna benefit from this sort of lacing structure. You know, even track runners wearing track spikes or racing shoes that generally are just cut a little bit more narrow. This is gonna be a great way to eke every extra little bit of width out of a pair of running shoes. Next, we're gonna take a look at lacing the shoe if you've got a specific hot spot along your foot that kind of bothers you or could use some relief. So depending on where that is, what we can do is actually just skip the eyelet that's corresponding to that area on your foot. Oftentimes a shoe that's fitting too tightly in certain areas, you can sort of feel like it's almost like piano wire going over your feet, and that doesn't feel good. So let's just take a case of someone who's having a little bit of pressure on their instep, say like right here. What we're gonna do is just start lacing the shoe as normal in that first eyelet. And then what we can do next is just skip this next eyelet, come across, come up, skipping one, going back through the opposite side on both sides of the shoe. And then just finish off lacing the shoe as normal. And what that does is it allows you to still get that locked in heel fit. Again, you can combine this with, like we talked about, going through this back eyelet. or incorporating the runner's loop, but it allows you to get that same fit in the heel, but open up the space kind of along that hot spot. Next up, we're gonna look at straight lacing the shoe. Now we're gonna take a look at straight lacing the shoe. This is a good way to give you just the most volume on the top of your foot. People with a high instep will benefit from this. This is actually my favorite technique for lacing shoes because one, have a wider foot, and two, I think just the straight lacing look is kind of nice. It kind of cleans up the look of the laces. So you're gonna start as normal at the very bottom. You're gonna take one side and come up through here. On the opposite side, you're gonna do the same thing, but you're gonna skip one eyelet, going up here, coming out this way. You'll take this first loop, come around, backwards through this eyelet, and then you're gonna take this, skipping this eyelet, next one, and going up here. Take this, come over the top, backwards through this eyelet, and then you're gonna skip 2 more eyelets on this side, coming out here, and one more time on this other side. Across, and skipping. And last time over here, you're gonna come across, and on this one, just because we're out of eyelets, you're just gonna go back out through here, and there you have it. What this does, it just removes a lot of contact points that the laces have with your foot. So it benefits those with a wider foot. And then as you can see, you get a nice clean straight lace look.